Time period means presently we are having a class right now. So this is the present time. Before this, I must have been doing something else, as you people would have been doing, like somebody came from the office. Now that's a past, because the office is over and now you have come back and you are sitting at home, or might be you are sitting in the office and just attending this class and presently not doing that work. Tomorrow you will be going for some medical checkup. So that is a future part. So today's class is basically based on present time, in present scenario. What is the different way? I will say, what are the different ways in which I can talk to people? I can present to people about my thoughts. I can present to people about things which are factual, about some things which are habitual. In what manner I'm supposed to speak without making any grammatical errors. So that's what today's class is. We will be sharing with you a PPT. Hello English works in there is a proper format that we follow, and according to that format we will be initially doing some explanation of the topic that we had chosen, and then we would be having some multiple choice questions, fill-ups for you, or jumbled words which you have to put it in a sentence form. You have to choose it and place it. So your practice questions will come after the explanations are over. So let's get started. I'll be sharing with you the PPT. Just see that you are able to see the PPT. I hope the PPT is visible to all of you. Okay, first let's read these sentences. The following sentences says, I write letters to please her. Now see the bold part, the highlighted part there. I write letters to please her. I wrote the letter in his very presence. I shall write another letter tomorrow. Now these are the different three time period that we are talking. I write is a present time that we are talking about. The moment you said I wrote, that's a past period time which is already over. I shall. So the moment you say shall or will, it means they're talking, the person is speaking, or the sentence is making you feel that this is talking about your future, something which will come now. The sentence are also trying to figure you out. In the third sentence, they are also trying to talk about the future part, another letter tomorrow. In sentence one, the verb is write, as you can see. In the second sentence, it is wrote. And in the third sentence, it is shall write. So the use of shall and will is trying to tell us that we are here talking about the future aspect. So these are the three different time zones that we are going to deal with. Today's class is based on simple present. Like a verb that refers to the present is said to be present tense. Present is a word which is used for something which is happening right now. I am taking your class right now. So presently you all are sitting in a class. So the root word present means something which is happening right now. Tense. Tense actually means time. So we are talking about which time? Present time we are talking. So in the present time, I will say I write. I will not say I wrote. Why? Because the moment I say I wrote, it goes in past. I say I love. That means this is present time. The moment I say I loved, L-O-V-E-D, that goes in the past form. Or if I say I shall love or I will love, is something which is talking about the future aspect. So let's get started with the simple present form there. So simple present is used. Now there are general rules for all the usage of grammars. Now, as I have always said that whenever we do a class, yes, Manju, hi, how are you doing, Mr. MK, Manju, or if this is Mrs. or Miss, welcome to the class. Now, whenever we are doing a grammar class, whenever we come and attend any language class or any class for that matter, it's a very good idea that you carry a notepad and a writing pen with you so that you copy these rules. And you reassure yourself after the class gets over that you have understood these rules, and try and recollect these rules with the help of pasting them at eye contact level places like on the fridge or on your place where you use your toothbrush or where you comb your hair. Place it, paste these rules there and revise it. Time and again revise it. Only then it will get registered with you. Let's get started. To express a habitual action. What is habitual action? That express something which is talking about the regular kind of expression that you have is above the level of that. So an expression which is above the normal level is an exclamatory kind of a thing, where you say, oh wow, I got these so many marks. Then expression is going a little higher, the level is going a little higher. That's an exclamatory part here. So we are talking about in exclamatory sentences beginning here and there. So in any sentences, if there is an exclamation, here you see this baby, you see this baby, you see this baby. You didn't say you saw or you will be seen. See. So that's what I'm saying. So even when you're using your exclamatory kind of sentences which starts with here, H-E-R-E, and there. So there and here, it's actually the pointing aspect that we're talking about when we try and determine something here and there. So here comes the bus. Always an exclamatory sentence is going to end with an exclamation mark. That's the way we can find out that this is an exclamatory sentence, and we read it accordingly. Here comes the bus. So that is what it is. It's simple form saying it by using the word here. It's an exclamation and it's going to be in the simple present form. I hope you understood. Now, to express a future event that is a part of a fixed timetable program, the match starts at 9 o'clock. Now, this is something which is fixed. Like, for example, my class is fixed. I will be coming on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 6 o'clock. This is fixed. So when these kinds of schedules are fixed, which is not happening right now, which is going to happen in future, but these are fixed schedules. Even in such kind of schedules, you are going to use simple present aspect. Simple present thought. Okay, so where it says the train leaves at 5:20, the match starts at 9 o'clock. I hope you are able to understand what we are talking here. Other usages of simple present tense are it is used to introduce quotations. Quotations are what? Quotations are, I hope you know what are quotations. Somebody said something, you write the name of the person and the kind of quote, whatever he said. Now that said part is also always in a simple present form. There is no time doesn't change. It's in a simple present tense it is quoted. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. So that's a simple present tense that we are going to use here. It is used instead of simple future tense in clauses of time and of condition. It is used. Now, simple tense is used for simple future tenses. I shall wait till you finish your lunch. Now, this is exactly what they are trying to say, that you are going to introduce it when you are talking about something which is going to get over. So that is something, it's a condition-based kind of a thing. Presently, you are there and it's going to get over. So there also you are going to use your simple present form of it. Let's try and use it in form of our exercises, as I said. So you are going to use these words and correct the form of the verb to make a sentence in the simple present form. So these are jumbled kind of things. Okay, you have to place it in a sentence. Always Mark his children kiss goodnight. So Mark always kisses his children goodnight, or Mark is always kiss his children. Which one will you take? Anushka, okay. Since the sentence is in a simple present, it indicates it's a habit kind of a thing. Anushka, let's understand it once again because you've joined me from the first instance there. Listen, see what it is saying. Just look at the sentence. Mark always kisses his children goodbye. So that's a habit kind of a thing. Unki aadat hai ye. It's a habitual kind of a thing. So when it is a habitual kind of a thing, it always goes in a present, simple present form. Okay? Let's get the next one. He doesn't believes in ghosts. He does not believe in ghosts. He isn't believed in ghosts. He isn't believes in ghosts. So which is the right one we'll say? Choose the correct one. Okay. He does not believe in ghosts. Now Anushka is right. Great. Thank you for doing that. Next, the sun is rise in the east. the sun rises in the east. Kanushka is right. Great. So now you understood, Anushka. Then this is something which is a factual truth. So this is always going to be in the simple form. Next is going to be the exclamatory part where you are going to use here and there. You're going to use a simple present. Let's see how you go to it. Here she is. Here is she. How are you going to use? Yes. Here she is. The pronoun is going to come before the present form of is. Very good. Manju, thank you for doing this. Great. It's really great to see when you participate. I really feel that I'm doing something for you people. Okay. As far as Anushka and Rockstaram is concerned, you can please join, you can please unmute yourself and speak if you have some issue there. Okay, form a question with Bob loves watching TV. You need to make a simple sentence in the present form using this. What is Bob loving? What is Bob watching? What does Bob love? Who watches? So what does Bob love? That's a simple present tense question that we are making. What is Bob loving? Loving, ing is something which is used for your continuous part. We'll be dealing with that also today. What is Bob watching? What is Bob watching? That's Bob loves watching TV. So if we use what is Bob watching, again the sentence is not making the appropriate meaning out of it. What does Bob love? The question is, what does Bob love? Only then the answer is going to come. Bob loves watching TV. So that's in a simple present form, you're making a question. Next, I am having a mole on my face. I have a mole on my face. So which one will you take? Mole. Why? Because mole is something which is a permanent kind of a thing which people have. We have seen that whether we are going on airports or when we are trying to fill up something, they ask you that you have got any marks on you. So that's a regular kind of a sentence that we have taken. Now here comes the continuous part. Don't get confused about it. Let's understand in a simple form. Continuous part is something where things are happening things are going on. There is something which is moving, which is an action which is going on. For example, I am teaching. I teach is present form. Okay, I am teaching is a present continuous form. Why? Because the action is happening right now. I am right now teaching. But as a profession, I teach. Have you understood? So the simple present form, I'll say I teach. But when it comes to a present continuous form, what will I say? I am teaching, because this is something which is happening right now. You are learning, happening right now. So what we do? Teach plus ing, learn plus ing. So in continuous part, you only have to add ing parts. So that's something over the period of practice, you will learn how we are going to use this. So the present continuous tense is used for an action going on at the time of speaking. Something at the time of speaking. Right now that I'm trying to say something to all of you. So this is a present form of an action going on. The boys are playing hockey. That is something, an action which is going on right now. When I see somebody doing something, I can say, oh, this is what is happening. Happening. So I'm using ing form with the root word there for a temporary action. Now these are the rules that we have to follow when we're talking about the present continuous tense. So for a temporary action which may not be actually happening at the end of speaking. So that means there is one thing which is happening right now in your eyes. There might be one period of time that there is something happening right now in front of your time. But there would be something which could be happening not at that point of time when you were speaking. So then also you will be saying, I am reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. That doesn't mean that I am not reading it at this moment. That means it's a continuous process. Right now, I am reading this book and it's going on. I have not finished the book. It's not that while I'm talking to you, the book is in my hand. It's not that also. It is just trying to express to the other person by saying, see, this is presently, I am into this book. I am reading this kind of a book. So when there is an action which is temporary, which is actually not happening at that period of time, then also you are using present continuous form. Okay, so for an action that has already been arranged to take place in the near future, very important for us to say that I am going to the mall tonight. So this is something I might give this a statement, suppose in the afternoon, for something which is going to happen in something in the late evening hours, right? So I can say this something by saying, but I can say this, that I am going to the mall tonight. So I am actually trying to talk about something which will happen after 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. That's a future part I'm talking about. But I can say that in a present continuous form by helping, those helping verbs are the verbs that you have to use, am form, and then go becomes ing form. So I am going to the mall tonight. I hope you have understood, but there is something that you need to note here. So when the reference is made to a particular obstinate, that means that there is a stubborn kind of a habit, something which persists. We use the present continuous tense. That means if the in present continuous is also used when there is a stringent habit of somebody, there's a stubborn habit of somebody, which is ongoing, which is not which is not presently happening, but this is something which is an ongoing aspect. So which just says my dog is very silly. So dog being silly is not something which is presently he's silly. He has been this kind of a creature as a habit. He's a silly dog. So he is always running out into the road. So that's a stubborn kind of a habit. Even if you are trying to teach the dog, even if you are trying to train the dog, still what is happening with the dog is still making silly mistakes. So he is a person who is having a stubborn kind of an attitude. So that attitude is something which is today also, which was also when he was very young, and which will persist because that's the kind of a creature he is. So for such kind of stubborn habits also we use present continuous sections. Okay. But again, very simple way to understand is that with the root word you are going to use ing. Here it is run is I run. That's a present, simple present. I am running. So what did I do? in plus ing. So whenever you are talking about a continuous, whether it is past, present or future, keep this in your mind. You have to put ing form there. But it's with the practice, with the usage, only then you will be in a state to understand more about the usage of it. Now, again, that's what I said. If you have your notepad, if you can take a snapshot, these are beautiful, expressions, a beautiful way of explaining to people who really find English little difficult. All these PPTs that we show you are really helpful for you all. Now, these are the different kinds of verbs. Now, verbs, I hope you know what all verbs are. Verbs, what we are learning right now, tenses. What are those tenses we are talking about? The verb forms. They are actually the action words. Now, all these action words have got their base verbs, base words. That means I've got something basic and then I add to it and make something else, like we do it in our kitchen also. We have got something basic and then we add on things to it and make something else as a flavor kind of a thing. In languages also, we have got some basic flavors and then we add to it. For example, I've got alphabets, I join them, I make words. I join the words, I make sentences. I join the sentences, I make paragraphs. I hope it is clear to you. Now here what is happening, we have got different kinds of verbs. Yes, Manju, you are absolutely right. Action words. Thank you. That's great. So when we are talking here about these action words, now the root word of these action words, normally, why I have went slow? Because I want you to pause and listen to me very carefully. The root word of these action words are normally, please listen to me carefully, are normally not used in continuous form. Normally, that means zyadatar, most of the times we keep the root words as it is. But where required at certain period of time, we definitely use them for in continuous part. We do change them, but mainly speaking, they are always used in a simple present form. For example, if I say these grapes are tasting sour. These grapes are tasting sour. This is a wrong way of saying it. The right way of saying it, these grapes taste sour. So the word taste remains, the root word taste remains as it is. Why? Because there are a lot of verbs which we do not change. We do not change for continuous aspect. We still let them remain as it is. And that's the right way to express our expressions. So the incorrect and correct English, we need to be little careful. And right now what you're seeing it on your PPT, which is talking about perception, appearance, and emotion and thinking kinds of verb, is we need to be little cautious about it. When you are when there is a kind of a perception required, perception is related to thought process, that you can perceive something related, I can see. So I cannot say I am seeing. No, but that is, I can see, I can hear, I can smell, I can notice, I can recognize. So the root word, let it remain as it is. Don't unnecessarily play with it. The moment you try and unnecessarily play with it, you might fall into making wrong English there. That's what we are saying. So verbs of appearing. Now when there are verbs of appearing, I will appear, I appear, I look, I can, it seems, it seems to me. Okay. So verbs of emotions also. I want, I wish, I desire, I feel, I like, I love, I hate, I hope, I refuse, I refer. You must have, I can use this most common words for you. Thank you, Rohan, for joining us. We can use this common word for you when you say, I hate her. You have heard people say it. I love her. People are basically using the root verbs there, and they don't fiddle with it. They don't unnecessarily play with it. That's what we are trying to say. So these are perception, appearing, emotions. These are such kinds of verbs which you will not play with it. Let it remain in the simple present form there. Yes, Rohan, you are quite late, but then we finished Rohan with simple present form, and now we are with simple continuous also, and now let's see. And I don't know, Rohan, I feel we have already done this class with you about simple present past, simple present and perfect, sorry. So there are verbs of thinking. Verbs of thinking. Now, let's make life little easy for you. The moment I say words of perception, words of appearing, words of emotion, words of thinking, you will better understand it, right? But we have used here verbs because we are talking about tenses. So the tenses, when we are talking, keep them simple, keep them basic. Don't unnecessarily add on S or ES or ING forms to it. You will make mistake. Okay. Now verbs of thinking also. I think, I suppose, they believe, you agree, they consider, you trust, I remember, you forgot, I know, I understand, I imagine, I mean, I mind. You owe, you possess, that's to have. Something that you have, that's a possession kind of a thing. To belong, to contain, contain, consists of, be, except when used in a passive form. Do you know what's a passive form? When the subject becomes the action and the action becomes the subject. That's what we are saying. Now, this is what I was talking to you. When you say, I am thinking, you are wrong. I have seen people, truly, they speak such kind of English, and then they say, I'm thinking you are wrong. So that's a wrong English. You will say, I think you are wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't use unnecessarily for continuous part, because these basic root words which we have just discussed here, don't change them. These kinds of verbs, when you're talking about perception or appearing or emotion or thinking or have, don't change unnecessarily their root forms. Let them remain the simple form and you will not make mistakes there. I hope intelligent ones have taken a snapshot of it. Others have copied it. Please paste it in at places where you can remind yourself again and again that you have learned this section here. Going to the next slide is basically related to your exercise. You have to pick the correct option. Boris is always paying his bill on time. Boris always pays his bills on time. Which one will we take? Perfect. Anushka, we went wrong. What happened, Anushka, here? Manju, ma'am, sorry for disturb. I'm busy. Busy problem not got. My manager asked, please help, ma'am. Manju, what I understand that your manager has called you and you are not able to understand, or you want to move. I didn't get your question, Manju. Please write it again or you can unmute yourself and explain it to me. Now I've allowed you to speak. Manju, who is Manju here? You are allowed to speak. Please come and speak to me. Okay. Okay, you can ask later. Do you people type such short words? Seriously, even I have a problem in understanding this kind of new English which has come up. I am by pro not received. My manager asked decide. Sorry, Manju, I'm really sorry. Type in, give me full words there only, then I'll understand what you're trying to say. Okay. Anushka, what was the problem in this? And Rohan, you also. क्या प्रॉब्लम थी? We were dealing about कि आपके पास जो verbs है, जो words है, उनको आपको basic रखना है, simple present form में रखना है. All these words we are already given it to you that you are trying to keep it in the basic form here, right? Now, when you are using it in your ing forms, there you are making mistakes there. So what you have to do is you keep the first person. I think straight. That's why I was practicing while I was reading it. What did I say? I see, I hear, I smell, I appear, I want, he will appear, want, I want. What did I say? Straight, I'm talking about the first form that we are speaking to you. So when I say these grapes are tasting sour, these grapes taste sour. These grapes taste sour. What would you do? We are not saying these grapes are tasting sour. No. So here also when we did it wrong, Boris is always paying his bills on time. Boris always pays. Where is the need to put is and ing form? Because it's a habitual kind of a thing that we are talking about, that he is always paying his bill on time. Let's check there are form of WH questions. Bob is watching TV. Okay, this is the next slide which is talking to you about Bob is watching TV. Okay, you have to make a question which starts with WH. WH are these different kinds of W's that we have, 5 different kind of W's. Okay, when, why, what, where, will, and how. Now you have to make questionnaire with this. Bob is watching TV. That's an answer. What will you ask? How will you make a question with this? What is Bob watching? What does Bob watch? What does Bob watching? What has Bob been watching? What is Bob watching? Okay. Who gave me this answer? Only M gave one answer and Rohan also gave answer. Thank you. Great. That was really great. Okay, form a question. You have to again make a question with it. There is a restaurant nearby. So does there a restaurant nearby? Is there a restaurant happening nearby? Anushka, is there a restaurant nearby? Is there a restaurant nearby? Very good. Please come up, give me an answer. Perfect. Is there a restaurant nearby? Simple question asked. There is a restaurant nearby. How will you ask this question? Is there a restaurant nearby? Okay. Next, put the following words or phrases into a sentence in the present continuous tense. You may choose to change the verb form. Relatives, his, visit, write, him. Now, his relatives is visiting, his relatives visit, his relatives are visit, his relatives are visiting him right now. Simple. I am silent. MK Manju, have you joined me? No. Manju, you are not there with me. Manju, you are not being shown in my attendees, so how can I unmute you? Just check. Okay. What is making a popular song for? What is making a popular song for you? What makes a popular song for you? Simple. Getting it? That's the place where we make mistakes. Make is a simple tense, present tense word. Unnecessary, don't use is making kind of a thing with it. Okay? Now you need to pick up the correct option from here. Pick the correct option. How many legs does a spider have? How many legs is a spider having? Absolutely, Anushka, got the point. No, ma'am, I silent in restaurant. You didn't say it in last. Okay, I'm sorry, Manju, if I said that. Okay, great, great, great. I cannot see where Manju is with me. I'm so sorry, Manju. Okay, Anushka, that was great. How many legs does a spider have? Now, that's a kind of a regular question. It remains as it is. Is having, it's not there. Nilesh, what went wrong there? What was the problem here, Nilesh? Now, the next that we are going to talk to you about is a perfect form. Now, we have got three ways of expressing ourselves. We can express ourselves. हमारे पास तीन अलग-अलग तरह की situations होती हैं. We have got three different situations when we can speak about ourselves. Now, language we are learning because we want to write or we want to hear or we want to speak, right? There is something which is happening in the present form. There is something which is happening in a continuation form. And there is something where which the work has happened. These are the only three stages we'll have. So in the first form, we call it simple form, any kind of tense, past, present, or future. We'll say continuous form, any kind of tense, past, present, or future. And then the perfect form, which says the work is done. So that is present, past, present, or future. So in any of the three stages of the time zones, you will find that at times the work is completed. The action is over. Right? So might be an action was going on and now the action is over, or you will say the action is complete. That's a perfect form that we have. And here today we are talking to you about the present form. As we said, we're talking about the time, so we are talking here about the present perfect form here. Now, what are the rules here? Again, I'm repeating it. If you take a snapshot or write it down or record it, whatever you want to, but these are the rules that you should keep it with you, else it will be really difficult for you. Okay? So the present perfect is used to indicate completed activities in the immediate past. For example, this class gets over. Now, what will you say? I have just finished the class. Right? Simple sentence that you are going to use. I have just finished my class. Done? Just finished my class. Fine. But here we are talking about the present form. How will I say? With just. Just the use of just, I will say about the perfect form, the time completion form there. He has just gone out. So what? Just check if I divide these, all the parts of speech, just check. He is the subject, right? And it's a pronoun. Has is the present form to show. And we're learning here about present perfect. That's we have got this verb, okay, fine, which is an added part of a verb there. Just is, again, we have got for showing the perfect form, where we say that it is the present perfect sentence we are using just there. Fine. Gone is the action which has happened and the doer is, the object is out. That means he has just gone out. Look at the placing of it. We are talking about something where we are trying to say that an action of going out has got completed because he has just left. I hope you are understanding what is the perfect form of it. An action which just got completed. Okay? And in that perfect form of present, we are using just. That's the first rule. The second rule is to express past actions whose time is not given and not definite. Past actions. That means it says, for example, any one of you must be living in any part of the country. Okay, and you don't know, you have been living in that country for how long, so you don't know the time period, but you might be still living in that country. Possible? Isn't it possible? That's what they are saying, that we are talking about past action. What was the past action? Your grandparents came to live in a particular place. That was the past action. You don't know the date of that time. And you're not sure about it, but the fact remains that you are still living in that country. So that's an action which got completed in the past, but something which is going on right now. So I have never known him to be angry. That means from past I have been connected with this person, but till date I have never seen that he's angry. So what is happening? Action started in the past, and we're talking about the present state also. that the person is not angry. Same way, Mr. Yadav has been to Japan. Has been very important. Keep this in mind. When we talk about the perfect form will have has or have. Has is for singular and have is for plural. Plus been, B-E-E-N, been. So perfect forms for help, I'm just giving it to you. Has plus been for singular, have plus been for plural form of it. You can use it to show a sentence which is got, for an action which has just got completed. To describe past events when we think more of their effect in the present than of the action itself. That means I have finished my work, means I am free now. What is it trying to say? It says that I started something, I was busy with that thing. Okay, there was a past event, there was some kind of a past event which started, and when we think more of that event in the present than of an action, that means there was something which started in the past, and right now I'm not thinking about it, but the fact remains that that action is now over. For example, I have finished my work. So when I'm going to say that I have finished my work, I'm going to say it right now, because I was doing that work in the past. So the work which we're doing in the past is over. But when did it got over? Right now. So I'm giving this a statement. I have finished my work. This is a present perfect kind of a sentence which is trying to say that my action has got just over. That means the second part of understanding is now I'm free. Okay, to denote an action beginning at some time in the continuing up to the present moment, often with since and of or phrase. So there are some actions which are denoting to begin at some time in the continuing up of present moment. That means there was some action which was happening and is continuing. This is happening right now. कुछ पहले चल हुआ था, अभी भी वो चल रहा है. So that's also part where we are going to talk about the perfect form of explanation. For example, I have known him for a long time. That means there was somebody I met in the last few years. Today also I know him, and still we are in touch with each other. So then there was something which happened in the past. Today also it is continuing, and we can continue for that. So that actions also we are here talking about is in the present perfect form. We haven't seen Padmini for several months. That means several months denote that in the past also we did not see Padmini. Today also I haven't seen, and there is a dilemma. I don't know what will happen. Will I be able to see her or not in the coming time? Now the present perfect continuous is something which is talking about has been sleeping. Everything remains the same. There is nothing that you should disturb yourself. It's basically talking about an action which is in a continuation form and is getting completed. He has been sleeping for 5 hours, and that means वो अभी भी सो रहा है. वो 5 घंटे से from past 5 hours he was sleeping, and he's still sleeping right now. So what is happening? Simple present was happening, present continuous happened, present perfect form is also happening, and then we say we are putting that ing form there. So what is present perfect continuous? Present perfect is a time period which is happening in present. Present perfect is an action has got completed. Continuation means ing of an action which is actually going on. For example, the present perfect continuous is used for an action which began at some time in the past and is still continuing. This tense is also sometimes used for an action already finished. In such cases, the continuity of the activity is emphasized as an explanation of something. Why are your clothes so wet? Now, the second section to make you understand about the present perfect is that there are times when then in the past their action, you did some work, okay? Right now also that work is going on. But in the past only the action got completed. But in the present state, the implication is happening. For example, it's a beautiful example there. Why are your clothes so wet? That means the laundry was done in the past. But presently when we see the clothes are still wet. So what is happening? The action happened in the past, and the till present state, I am not able to get the result of it. So that for me, the action is completed, but it is still going on. I hope you understood. Okay. Why are your clothes so wet? I have been watering the garden. Before I go ahead, I request you, all those who have joined me, I am just launching the polling. Could you just poll for me? Could you just give me some rating of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as to how my class was? Others also, those who are participating, there's only one person, 2 now. Could you please, the third one also, please, could you just quickly give this, and I want to go back to the class. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. Okay. So now next slide is going to be the usage part of it, exercises. Just check it out. Now see, whatever I have talked is something which is like, like you have in algebra, a lot of rules are there, and then comes the application part. So I can understand in grammar, when it is application part, then it becomes a little easy. Let's see the exercises here. I dash to the gym every week. I'm going or go. So what will you take here? I am, no. Why? Because every week indicates a regular habitual action. I intentionally gave this answer to make you understand. I dash to the gym every week. What is it? It is a habit. It is something which is happening every day. And this is my habit. So what is happening here? Every week, whenever we see this, every kind of it is a function, it says it's a regular habitual action. Hence, we would need to use the simple present tense. Don't forget it. Habitual always is going to be used in the simple present. I go to the gym every week. You will not say I'm going to the gym. I'll hate to live in London because it dash all the time. It rains or is raining? Absolutely. I knew Anushka and Emma are going to be, Manju is going to be right. I was very sure about it. Thank you so much. Great. Next. Rohan, come on, pick it up. I dash my cousin from Germany tomorrow. Do you want to come along? I am waiting. Okay, I am waiting. Come on, next. I can't talk right now. I'm really busy. I'll call you later. I am. I don't understand. John is normally so pleasant. He dash extremely difficult today. Is being. Rohan, great. Thank you. The service at the new restaurant is exceptional and it dash reasonably inexpensive. Is simple. Is. Great, Rohan, Anushka and Manju. Fortune dash the brave. Favor is favoring or favors. Favors. Rohan, great. Anushka, very good. Manju, great. He dash ill since last night. Is or has been. Simple. Come on. I've told you the clue of it. Yes, Anushka. Great. Great, Rohan and Manju. We dash for his call since 4:20. Have been or are waiting. Have been. Very good. Have been. Manju, have been. Always keep that perfect section in with you. Always remember this. It's we. It is plural. So it is have used here. It was I. It will be has. I have been waiting. Sorry. You have been waiting. We have been waiting. Okay. Next. Look, the sun dash over the hills. Sun, which one will we take? No, Rohan. Rohan, just check it. When it is look, it is exclamatory here. Anushka, it is exclamatory sentence here. When it is exclamatory sentence, we can use the continuation part. But when it is a habitual part, we will have to use the sun rises over the hills. It's a habit. Look, and it's an except. We are using exclamatory, so we could change it to the continuous part there. The FBI dash all the night neighborhood pet shops. Had raided, has raided, or have been raided? Has raided. Perfect. Very good, Rohan. Manju, very good. Next, pick the correct option. He is having a cellular phone. He has a cellular phone. He has a cellular phone. Very good, Rohan, Anushka and Manju. The baby dash all morning is crying or has been crying. Simple. This is quite simple. Has been crying. Good, Anushka and Manju there. Pick it has been raining for 2 days. It is raining for 2 days. Which is the right one? First one. Perfect. Good, Rohan. The baby has been sleeping for 3 hours. Now the baby is sleeping for 3 hours now. Anushka is right. Perfect. Rohan, please pay attention. Manju, please pay attention. Pick the correct option here. I have seen him yesterday. I saw him yesterday. I have seen him yesterday. I saw. Perfect. Perfect, Manju. Great. Very good, Manju. Next. He has returned from London last week. He returned from London last week. So which one is the right one there, Anushka? He returned from London last week. Okay. So here we are all with that was supposed to teach you today. So that's all what we have today. I hope you are going to practice it for yourself. Simple present, past, simple, present continuous, and the present perfect form of it. I hope you'll be using it for the best possible way. I am available for teaching on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 6 to 7. Please do join Hello English classes. If anyone has got anything to say right now, all those attendees with me, Rohan, Anushka, and Rockstar, you can unmute yourself and say something. We still have 2 minutes left for the class to get over. Please say whatever you wish to. If there is any problems related to the class that I took right now, please put it on the chat box. And I'll be able to see it and see if there are some changes that I need to do it. Anyone has to say something?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello. Thank you. Yes.
My name is Manju.
Okay.
Ma'am.
I can hear you. Please say.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am, I didn't get receipt, ma'am. Can you help, ma'am?
You didn't get receipt. Can you put a mail on that, please? Send a written mail, huh?
Email ID, ma'am.
You will have to check it in from the application only, please, Manju.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're most welcome. Is there any other problem anybody has? Anybody wants anything from our side? Rohan, I have allowed you to speak. Is there anything that you need to say quickly? Yes, Rohan, please. How can I help you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you want to say something?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much for joining. Take care of yourself. Okay, join us again back for Hello English classes. This is